Shalom לבני ישראל בברזיל, בערי סביבות פרירה ברט, העיר שלנו, לאור כל כולם ישראליתים בישראל, במזרח התיכון, בעול כל הארץ. כאן אסף בנמי קריספי לוי, אשר מדבר איתכם, והעניין שלנו ללמד מצוות של תורה. מפני אנחנו מאמין שתורתך חוקים ומשפטים רעים שלנו. לא דתות, אנחנו לא מאמין בדתות, רק במצוות של תורה. Well, I would like to greet all the Israelites in Middle East, in all the earth, and principally in Brazil. Our aim here is to preach the Torah, because the Torah is our life. We don't believe in religions. We don't believe in philosophies, just in the Torah, the commandments of the Torah, the eternal covenant. Well, we stopped in the item 179, and we will speak about the laws concerning the Dutch of the community and observing the authority of Yahweh's laws and Yahweh's anointed one. And now we're going to the item 180. False witness shall be judged according to the law. Torah, Devarim 19:19. Devarim 19:19. Let's read it. Then you shall do to him as he thought to have done to his brother. Thus you shall purge the evil from your midst. Then the false witness, and he will be treated like the who imagined to do against the other, against the brother, because the Eternal One doesn't accept false testimony. And if he planned to kill his brother, he will be dead, like he planned in his mind. Well, and now we're going to read in the oral law in Job's time, Lot's time, Yaakov's time, Abraham's time. This item 180, false witness shall be judged according to the law. Job chapter 35, Job. Job chapter 35, verse 10 to 12. And no one says, where is Eloah, my maker, who gives songs in the night, teaching us more than the beasts of the earth, and make us wiser than the birds of the heaven. There they cry, but he answers not, because of the pride of evil one. And these evil ones, the pride ones, they despise the despise the brother. They arrange false witness against the brethren. And because that, Job saw this in his times, because the Torah is from the beginning, like David says in the Tehillim 119, chapter 119, verse 160. Your Torah is from the beginning. Is the emet, the truth, since the beginning. Well, let's see this item 180, false witness shall be judged according to the law, Torah, in Torahs in the time of Yahushua and his Talmudics. Masei Shilihim, Acts of Apostles, chapter 6, verse 13. Masei Shilihim, Acts of Apostles. Masei Shilihim, Acts chapter 6, verse 13. And at the second time, chapter 6, verse 13. And they set up false witness, who said, this man does not cease to speak blasphemous words against this set-apart place and the Torah. Well, we can see here that these Hebrews men from the sect of the Hellenists, they arranged false witness neged Stephanus. And those men of the priests, they accepted this false witness. It's against the Torah. And they stoned Stephania because this accusation of this false witness. But in the day of the judge, these men will be condemned by the Eternal One, because they broke the Torah. They broke the Torah. Because false witnesses shall be judged according to the law. Those priests shouldn't accept the testimony of those evil men, false men. And now let's go to the other item of the Torah, item 181. When a person is found murdered and the murder is unknown, the prescribed ritual must be performed. Devarim 21:19. Devarim 21:19. Devarim 21:19. Let's read it. When a person is found murdered and the murder is unknown, the prescribed ritual must be performed. Devarim 21:19. Devarim 21:19. Then his father and his mother shall take hold of him and bring him out to the elders of this city, to the gate of his city. And shall say to the elders of his city, this son of ours is wayward and rebellious. He is not listening to our voice. He is a glutton and a drunkard. Then all the men of his city shall stone him to death with stones. Thus you shall purge the evil from your midst, and let all Israel hear and fear. Well, we can see here this item of this man disobedient to the Torah, and this man will be dead. Because he's a drunkard, a rebellious man, a murderer. Well, but other statement, very, very clear in the Torah, is about the prescribed right when a person was murdered and we didn't know the murder, and these people, the Zakanim, the Kohanim, measured the distance from the dead until the nearest city, and they got a calf, and they killed a whore, and they washed the hands in the down of the calf, and they spoke, we are free from this dam. And certainly, surely, with the time goes by, the murder will be found, because it is according to Torah. And I remember when I was a child that in my city, one person was dead, and they turned the persons by side, and they put a coin in the lips of the dead. It was a sympathy. And the murderer doesn't get out from this place. And they came to deliver to the police son. Well, why that? Because they based in the Torah, even their ignorance, but they are trying to find the murderer. Well, we can see here that when the person is found murdered and the murder is unknown, the prescribed ritual must be performed. Devarim 21, 19. Well, we can see here that this case of the calf, the female calf, was very, very known for the people in Israel. And this Kohanim, this Zakanim, they measured it. The place of the dead man, or the dead one, until the nearest city. Okay, and they convocated all the Zakanim of the authorities of that city, and they made a prescribed rite. Well, let's see this item. When a person is found murdered and the murderer is unknown, the prescribed ritual must be performed. In the oral law, Job 1, 18, 19. Job chapter 1, verses 18, 19. Job, chapter 1, verse 18, 19. While he was still speaking, another also came and said, your sons and daughters were eating and drinking wine in the house of their brother, the firstborn. And see, a great wind came from the wilderness and struck the four corners of the house. It fell on the young men, and they are dead. And I alone have escaped to inform you. Well, this... they didn't know who killed this person. Okay, and they had to measure the place of the dead ones until the nearest city, and to catch a calf, a female calf, and to take it to the valley, and to kill it, and with the blood to wash their hands. Okay, and to make one sword. Well, Bereshit 4, 10, and 11. And he said, what have you done? The voice of your brother's blood cries out to me from the ground. And now you are cursed from the earth, which has opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. Like in the case of the calf, because the blood is Raim, is life, and now the rebel's blood claims to the earth for justice. And we can see here that the Eternal One is justice, and he will make vengeance against the murderers. Well, let's see to the Torah in the times of Yahushua and his Talmudians. This item 181. Hebrew 9, 12 to 13. Hebrew 9, 12 to 13. Entered into the most set-aparted place once for all, not with the blood of goats and calves, but with his own blood, having obtained everlasting redemption. For if the blood of bulls and goats and the ash of a heifer, sprinkling the defiled, set apart for the cleansing of the flesh, like the sympathy of the heifer, okay, and the blood of Yahushua purified all of us, because he was the goat that takes the sins of the world. Shalom to you and your family. Shalom to all Israelites. And Zod Habracha Shel Zaken Assaf Benami Crispin Levi. Shalom, shalom, Lekulam.